Yo, what's going on, dudes? We're back with another episode in our full BT6 playthrough, and in today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, taking a break from our black border of the cabin, and we're going to be taking on this week's Dreadbloon. So this week's Dreadbloon is rather interesting because it's on Lotus Island, but what they did is they went through and they banned all of the monkeys, guys. Like, we don't have any monkeys that we can use, so this one should be a pretty interesting event. So dudes, let's go ahead and jump into it. Wait, we can't even use a hero? Oh dudes, what was Ninja Kiwi thinking? But even then, the boss health is reduced down to 80%, so this should be relatively easy. I don't think this is going to be easy, guys, because this is the Dreadbloon, and those darn rock balloons are always a pain in the butt, and they took away my spike factory that I usually use for rock balloons. So because we really don't have much of a choice here, we're going to have to go with the Monkey Buccaneer farming strat. So let's go ahead. We'll instantly start going for as many Monkey Buccaneers as we can. We'll also probably have to take advantage of the Engineer Monkey as well and use that balloon trap to make a little bit of extra money too. So the only thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going straight for a Merchantman, and then after I buy my first Merchantman, I'm going to try to buy as many as I can. Now, I don't think I can get away with being able to solo the tier 1 Dreadbloon with just Merchantmen, so we'll have to come up with a couple of different towers that will be able to help us out. Now, another thing I'm a little bit worried about are camo balloons, so we're going to have to take advantage of the Wizard Monkey, and with the Wizard Monkey, we're going to have to use his shimmer in order to reveal camo, and then I think we're going to have to rely on the more glaives in order to deal with those rock balloons. At least that's what I think. Man, Ninja Kiwi has really been stepping up the difficulty of these recent boss challenges. Like, last week was insane with the fact that you really weren't able to place down paragons, and this one's even more insane where they limit all of the towers that we can place down. Like, they didn't even give us a monkey village or an alchemist, and they took away our hero too. This is so crazy, guys. Now again, honestly, the only thing I'm worried about are rock balloons. Like, the boss balloon itself isn't going to be hard to take down at all because of course we can use the Ninja Monkey, as well as I think we can get away with like using a Dragon's Breath for tier 1. Wait, no, we're gonna have to use like the Dragon's Breath, and then I think we're gonna have to use like a Destroyer to make a little, or to have a little bit more popping power as well. So I think a Destroyer as well as like the Sticky Bomb should allow us to deal with tier 1, hopefully. Now, if we leak a couple of lives here at the start, it's not going to be a massive deal because we still have 25 lives in our mana shield. And plus, we're going to be placing down more and more Monkey Buccaneers. So again, we shouldn't have to worry too much about losing too many lives here at the start of the game. Now, ideally, we could have like had Benjamin to like make a little bit of extra money, but unfortunately, Ninja Kiwi was like, no, dudes, we're not gonna make this week too easy on you. Like, I'm still like debating if the Destroyer is gonna be a good idea to give us a little bit of well, I don't know if the Destroyer is gonna work on the Dreadbloon. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so I think we're gonna have to upgrade one of our Monkey Buccaneers up to Grape Shots because these balloons are making it a little bit further than I would like them to. So let's go ahead, we'll invest a little bit of money into Grape Shots, and that's going to increase our Merchantman's popping power immensely. All right, so round 26, we're gonna get hit with our first little rush of, oh dude, man, I think I messed up a little bit because I forgot that lead balloons came out on round 26. But if I'm not mistaken, we should be able to tank all of these lead balloons. What I should have done instead of upgrading this to Merchantman, or is like stopping at Grape Shot, I should have went straight for Hot Shots. So if you guys are playing this after, just upgrade to Hot Shots, or if you guys are comfortable with tanking those couple of lives, it isn't a massive deal, but tanking those few lives might get a little bit scary. So we definitely don't want that to happen again. So I instantly upgraded this Monkey Buccaneer up to Hot Shots. So I think I want to stop my farming on like round 35. So hopefully I can get like 1 or 2 more Merchantmen. I think I should be able to at the very least get 1 more. Actually, you know what? I think I want to go with 1 more after I buy this one. So we'll buy 1 more Merchantman, and then after we buy that Merchantman, we'll go ahead and stop our farming because we're going to have to buy ourselves a Ninja Monkey, as well as we're going to have to buy ourselves a Destroyer. Now, hopefully, like I was saying, hopefully the Destroyer is going to be enough to take down the tier 1 boss. Now, this is just, oh, dude, this is such a pain, guys. We can't leak all those lives. That's one too many lives for us to leak. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to do a home reset really quick. And I'm going to have to buy myself like a Dragon's Breath. Or maybe instead of a Dragon's Breath, I'll have to buy myself like a destroyer. Well, not a destroyer, but a grape shot and then fast shooting and then double shot. And then hopefully this is going to be enough to like help me out with those regen balloons. Yeah, so this, or not the regen balloons, but the ceramic balloons. Yeah, so just having this double shot here was definitely a big help. But I do want to grab one more merchantman just to have a little bit of added money. There we go. Now, luckily, we shouldn't have to worry too much about being able to afford our destroyer. And because the boss only has 80% health, we shouldn't have to worry too much about the balloons being too much for our towers to deal with either. So there's our destroyer. And then, like I was saying, I also want to grab myself a shimmer. But before I grab myself the shimmer, let me go ahead. We'll grab myself the ninja monkey. And then let's go ahead and grab ourselves the sticky bomb. And there we go, dudes. We got ourselves another level. Now, unfortunately, I found out, I want to say earlier on in the series, but if we unlock a monkey knowledge point, it isn't going to be effective, or it isn't going to work until we start a new game. So what I want to do, let me go ahead. Actually, you know what? I think we can get away with waiting one more round. I just don't know how well this destroyer is I just don't know how well this destroyer is gonna work. So there's the sticky bomb. And then another thing that I want to do, let me see. I think if I position a more glaives here, this is going to be like the best spot for rock balloons. Okay, so that's not the best spot for rock balloons. I think it's immune to military towers right now, right? Yeah, so it's immune to military. So if I would have had like, so I think I'm gonna have to sell. Yeah, I think that's the only thing I'm gonna be able to do is I think I'm gonna have to sell a couple of my merchantmen in order to grab myself more glaives. So we'll go ahead and come up here. We'll grab ourselves some more glaives in the very back here, and then we'll go ahead and grab ourselves another more glaives. This is what I was worried about, guys. Like, these darn rock balloons are just so crazy strong. Okay. A Dragon's Breath is another tower that we can use. If I do a home reset here, am I going to be able to buy a Dragon's Breath? Let me see. So if I come over here, there we go. I sell one more of these to grab a Dragon's Breath. Is that going to be enough for these rock balloons? We leaked a couple lives. It's not that big a deal. There we go. There we go. Okay, so this Dragon's Breath in the very back of the map should help us out a ton when it comes to dealing with those rock balloons. Now, the next thing I want to do, I want to start rebuying my merchantmen because we're definitely going to need a lot of money for this run. Because, like I was saying, we really don't have too many options when it comes to towers. So we want to be able to afford all the tier 5s. And dudes, like, this is so insane. Like, we're still leaking quite a few lives. I think I need to have like a second more glaives, and this is just gonna get even more intense once we move on to like the tier 2 and tier 3. So my big question is, why is the destroyer not popping the Dreadbloon? Or why is it like not doing any damage at all? That's so weird. Like, my more glaives is doing damage, but my monkey buccaneer isn't. That's like super upsetting. So I don't think we're gonna be able to use the destroyer. So let me go ahead, let me sell my destroyer. That way we can buy turbocharge. And then with the turbocharge should allow us to finish off this this tier of the boss. There we go. All right, so I probably should have like done that a little bit sooner, but I didn't realize that the destroyer wasn't doing damage to the boss. Like we could have popped the boss way sooner if I would have just realized that a little bit sooner. So let me go ahead and sell this. Let me go ahead. We'll sell this as well as we'll sell our more glaives. And then this should allow us to buy ourselves a trade empire. Actually, let me go ahead and sell a couple of these merchantmen as well. Because the trade empire is going to be a little bit more important. And now that we have the trade empire, the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to rebuy all of my merchantmen. And why are we struggling with just dealing with like a normal Moab balloon? I think I'm going to have to like buy myself another destroyer before we grab ourselves any more towers. So we'll grab ourselves a destroyer, we'll grab hot shots and then grape shots, and then we'll also grab ourselves a Shimmer Wizard Monkey, and this should help us out quite a bit. There we go. So now that we have that destroyer, I need to reposition this Monkey Buccaneer. Dude, this is actually a little bit more difficult than I initially thought it would be, because I initially like was really banking on the destroyer putting in a majority of the work, but the fact that we weren't, or the destroyer wasn't doing damage to the boss for some reason, kind of like set us back really far. So if I end up like getting soft locked on one of the tiers, I'll definitely have to come back through, and instead of using the destroyer, I'll have to use that boomerang monkey instead, because the boomerang monkey worked really well for dealing with the boss, or the turbocharge rather. Like I just initially thought that my towers were just riding the struggle bus a little bit. Like, I didn't realize that the destroyer wasn't doing any damage at all. So that messed up our farming a little bit, but it's not going to be a big deal. Let's go ahead. We'll grab, I think for this one, we'll go for a boomerang monkey, but we also need to go for a couple of sticky bombs too. Like, the sticky bombs worked really really well, but for this one, I think I want to go with a permacharge. And then the permacharge should be able to do quite a bit of damage to the boss. And we're also going to have to be really careful with round 63. I don't know if the sticky bomb's going to be enough. I may need to sell a couple of my merchantmen in order to be able to afford the permacharge. Because I think the permacharge is going to be the only thing that we're going to be able to rely on for round 63. Yeah, so let me go ahead. We'll sell a couple of our merchantmen in order to buy that permacharge, and that should help us out a ton. Unfortunately, it is immune to primary right now, so another thing that we could use is we could use the Glaive Lord. We just need to get through the primary immune phase, so I think what we'll have to do is we'll have to grab ourselves another sticky bomb instead, and then hopefully the permacharge is going to be enough for round 63. I think it should. I almost wonder if instead I should have went for a Glaive Lord. No, the permacharge is working perfectly. There we go. So let me go ahead and activate my permacharge to see how the permacharge... Oh yeah, the permacharge is absolutely annihilating the boss, guys. Yep, the permacharge was definitely a really solid investment. So now that I know the permacharge as well as the ninja monkeys are going to work, let me go ahead and start buying some more merchantmen. And then as soon as we get the ability off of cooldown, we'll go ahead and activate our permacharge. And then, like I was saying, we need a lot of merchantmen because I'd like to have a paragon for the tier 3. But if we don't have a paragon for the tier 3, it's not going to be the end of the world. Like I was saying, again, we just want to make sure that we have enough popping power to deal with the rounds up until the point where we can get a tier 5 to hold us off. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of both of the ninja monkeys, and instead of the ninja monkeys, I'm going to go ahead and buy myself some more merchantmen, as well as I'm going to grab myself a couple of flavor trades too. So even though we had like a really rocky start, we're in a much better position now. So what I want to do is I want to get up to 20 merchantmen. And then once I get up to the 20 merchantmen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start upgrading all of my merchantmen up to flavor trades. And then after we get all of the flavor trades, then we'll go through and we'll start placing down more merchantmen. But because we have the trade empire, we definitely want to go for the 20 flavor trades first before we start going for more merchantmen. Now, it would have been nice if they would have like hooked us up with like 10 banana farms in order to get a little bit more money with our merchantmen. But like I was saying, Ninja Kiwi is definitely stepping up their game with the difficulty of all of these recent boss events. Like, this one is definitely pretty challenging, especially since they banned so many different towers. So it looks like we're not going to be able to afford a paragon before we get to the tier 3. So we're going to have to rely on quite a few tier 5s in order to deal with the tier 3 Dreadbloon. All right, so now that we have all of our Monkey Buccaneers up to flavored trades, now the next thing I want to do, let's go ahead and wait until round 79. Before we decide what tower we're going to go for. Because if I can afford to buy myself a flying fortress, I'd much rather go for a flying fortress. But if we can't afford to buy the flying fortress, then we'll have to settle for something a little bit different. So we're making about $20,000 a round. So that's not too bad at all. But, dude, I am a little bit worried because if we go for the flying fortress, we won't be able to deal with the military blocking phase. So what tower would help us out a lot with the military blocking phase and is also pretty cheap? We could always go for the Prince of Darkness, but I don't know how well the Prince of Darkness would do. Oh man, I just know that the Flying Fortress would absolutely shred, and it's going to cost us $85,000. I don't want to sell any of my merchantmen though. Now, luckily the boss is pretty slow, so we might be able to get away with using the Flying Fortress, but we'll have to wait until we're mid-round. And we'll also be banking on our perma charge to take down the military immune phase. So I think that's going to be our only option, guys. Like, we have to go with the Spectre, and also we're also going to have to go for the spy plane as well. Like, we do have the Shimmer here at the start of the track, but once we start facing up against like DDT balloons, I'm a little bit worried that the Shimmer isn't going to be enough. So I want to grab myself a Prince of Darkness before I try relying on like the Wizard Monkey to reveal all the camos. We just need a little bit more money in order to get the Flying Fortress, and we're almost there. We are so close to being able to afford the Flying Fortress. There we go. So there's our Flying Fortress. So now that we have the Flying Fortress, we should be able to zoom through the primary, or well, all of the phases except for the military phase. So for the military phase, I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a Glaive Lord. Then we'll go ahead and grab Red Hot Rangs. And then we'll also probably grab ourselves the bottom pathway Boomerang Monkey too, the Moab Domination, because this should also do a lot of damage to the boss balloon too. It's kind of crazy that we need to rely on 3 tier 5s just to like keep up with the Flying Fortress. All right, so we have our Moab Domination, and we're actually like chunking through the boss a little bit faster than I initially thought we would. So we should be setting pretty good, and I don't think we'll have to worry about not like beating the tier 3 boss. Also, would you look at that, dude? We just unlocked the Navarch of the Seas. We were just working on unlocking the Navarch of the Seas for the or in the full playthrough when we were blackboarding the cabin. So it's kind of cool that we actually managed to get the Navarch of the Seas unlocked. Now, I'm debating on going with another, well, actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and grab myself a Pirate Lord. And then with this Pirate Lord, that should give us a little bit more popping power. But now that we're past the military immune phase, I shouldn't have to worry too much about any balloons slipping through. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to start buying as many flavor trades as I possibly can. Also, before I do that, let me go ahead and upgrade this Wizard Monkey up to a Prince of Darkness too. I want this Prince of Darkness, that way all of our towers can actually see camo balloons. So right now, it looks like we're making around $24,000 a round. So that's not too bad at all. I actually want to go ahead and sell my Flying Fortress so I can buy more flavor trades, because we already have a 3 tier 5 Boomerang Monkeys on the screen, as well as we have the Pirate Lord and the Prince of Darkness. So we shouldn't have to worry too much about any balloons slipping through. So that $90,000 for the Flying Fortress would definitely be better spent on these flavor trades instead. So from this point on, I'm just going to be buying as many flavor trades as I can. So right now we're making $34,000 a round. So that's not too bad at all. I think once we get up to round 95, I'm going to want to stop my farming. That way we can hopefully afford to like buy an Apex Plasma Master before the tier 4 boss. All right, so round 95, we're going to go ahead and stop our farming now. The first thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and buy myself the Flying Fortress. Now with this Flying Fortress, because we have the Prince of Darkness now, I'm not going to upgrade to the middle pathway because I want our Flying Fortress to do even more damage. So it's going to cost us $275,000 to buy the Glaive Dominus. And it'll definitely be worth it if we can get that $275,000. I almost wonder if it would be a good idea to sell a bunch of Monkey Buccaneers once we actually get to, yeah, there we go. So we have 134,000. Let me go ahead and sell all of our enough Monkey Buccaneers in order to buy the Glaive Dominus. Because after we make it past the primary immune phase, the Glaive Dominus should absolutely destroy here. There we go. So we'll go ahead and go for the Glaive Dominus. Now, because we've had the Boomerang Monkeys on the screen for quite some time, we should get a decent Paragon degree. I say we should get a decent Paragon degree, but we only got Paragon degree 11. It's not the end of the world, guys, because we'll be able to sell our Paragon and rebuy all of the flavor trades that we just sold after we make it past this tier. But I definitely think it's a little bit more worth it to have the Boomerang Paragon of the Glaive Dominus, opposed to just trying to make a little bit of extra money with a couple of flavor trades. All right, so yes, the Boomerang Paragon is doing not good at all. But it is going to get us through that military phase, and actually it's doing a little bit better than I initially thought. Like, I was a little bit worried how it was like paragon degree 11. I was worried that it wouldn't be able to do enough damage to the boss, but it actually surprised me just a little bit. Then after we deal with the boss, we're going to go ahead and sell that glaive dominus. I know we're going to lose out on a little bit of like paragon degree because we're going to lose all the pops that our boomerang monkey already had, but there's nothing that we could really do about it because we need to have more flavor trades. That way we can get more money. And because we want to spend all this money, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my auto start as well. And then let's go ahead, we'll buy our glaive lord. That way we can go ahead and get a couple of pops on our glaive lord. We'll also grab our crossbow master, and then after we grab our crossbow master, actually, you know what? I don't think I'm going to go for the apex. I think the better investment for us would be go for the Navarch of the Seas. I think the Navarch of the Seas is going to be the better investment here. And then we'll just buy the rest of the tier 5s. All right, so we filled up the screen with flavor trades. Now, another thing that we can do to make a little bit of extra money is we can also grab ourselves a balloon trap or a triple XL trap. And then with this triple XL trap, we'll go ahead and place it here at the start of the track. And that should make us a little bit of extra money as well. So as soon as we can afford to buy the triple XL trap, we'll go ahead and buy it. And then we'll try to collect as much money as we can for the tier 5 boss. Now, luckily we have 11 rounds left, so we should have enough money in order for us to afford the Navarch of the Seas. Like the Navarch of the Seas is definitely going to be the highest paragon degree that we can get because we've made so much money with our monkey buccaneers. It would be a mistake not to go for the Navarch of the Seas. All right, so round 119, let's go ahead and turn off our auto start. All right, so $628,000 to work with. I think what I want to do, let me sell quite a few of these monkey buccaneers. The reason why I want to sell a few of them is because if we go for the Navarch of the Seas, I know we're going to get a lot of like paragon degrees with just the amount of money that they've made, but I feel like this is just a few too many merchantmen, and I want to be able to afford a couple more tier 5s. Because just the Navarch of the Seas alone won't be enough to get us through the military immune phase. Or just the towers that we have won't be enough to get us through the military immune phase. So I think this should be enough. There we go. And 550,000. That's actually perfect. So we'll go ahead and upgrade our Navarch of the Seas. Now, let me see. I want to invest money, but at the same time, I don't because I want to buy all of the other tier 5s. So we still ended up with Paragon Degree 55. That's not bad at all, dudes. And that's also going to give us plenty of money to buy the other tier 5s. Like, we could almost buy ourselves another paragon. You know what? I think that's going to be our best bet. I'm going to be going with the cheapest paragon, though. Let me see. So, Apex Plasma Master. Let me go ahead. We'll sell our engineer monkey to get a little bit of extra money. What else can we sell? Let's also sell our boomerang monkey to make a little bit more money as well. And then I think the only towers I'm going to keep are my Prince of Darkness, as well as the Flying Fortress. And then if we can buy any other towers in the meantime, we'll go ahead and do so. Now, because I sold all because our Dart Monkey is going to be a super high Paragon degree, I want to invest the rest of the money straight into the Apex. And Paragon degree 37. So hopefully the Paragon degree 37 Apex is going to be enough to get us through the military immune phase. Now, we shouldn't have to worry about any DDT balloons or anything like that. And when we see a bad balloon, we can go ahead and hook it. Now, like I was saying, the only thing I'm really sketched out about is I don't know if the Apex is going to be... Oh, yeah, dude. The Apex is going to be more than enough. Ooh, dude. Thank goodness we have Paragon Degree 55 Navarch of the Seas. Like I was saying, I was a little bit iffy if the Apex would be enough to get us through the tier 5. But the Apex is actually doing really well. And there we go, dudes. We have officially beaten this. I know we still have like a couple of tiers left to go, but the fact that the Navarch of the Seas can start doing damage now, we don't have to worry about any of these balloons slipping through. Oh yeah, dudes, we absolutely destroyed the tier 5 boss. I honestly think the tier 5 boss was probably the easiest out of all the tiers. But anyways, dudes, that's gonna do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to subscribe as well, because I do upload a daily BT6 content. But anyways, dudes, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you dudes in the next one.